Night flight over the ocean, shimmering in the moonlight, seemed unusually peaceful. Only occasional clouds drifted past the windows like shadows of the past, slowly fading into the vast sky. I sat next to Madison, my beloved, watching as she tucked herself under a blanket, trying to fall asleep. In this dark cabin, everything seemed incredibly serene, as if it could only surrender to magic. The first few hours of the flight passed flawlessly. The crew served us, as usual, with smiles and attention, and the passengers seemed absorbed in their concerns or simply trying to find comfort in this boundless sky. But when the meal was served to our row, something began to happen. I took a piece of bread and examined it closely. It seemed unreal, like a prisoner of time losing its shape and meaning. A strange, cold breath passed over my shoulder, causing me to shiver. I looked around, but saw nothing except the darkness of the cabin and the sleeping passengers.
Are you okay?
Madison asked, looking at me with concern. Yes, just tired, I replied, trying to shake off the strange feeling, as if something invisible was watching me. But that was just the beginning. Passengers around us began to whisper, their voices echoing in the emptiness. Some seemed to see something strange in the windows, something undefined and frightening. I glanced at Madison. Her eyes were filled with fear. What do you see? I asked quietly, afraid of the answer.
The plane. It's falling.
She whispered, squeezing my hand. I tried to reassure her, to say that it was just a hallucination, but even my own eyes began to see something strange. Ghosts of the past flickered before my eyes as if trying to say something, but their images were blurred and uncertain.
What's happening?
Someone screamed from the passengers, and their voice shattered the silence, filling the cabin with alarm. The crew tried to reassure us, but their voices sounded distant and unconvincing. Something was wrong. I looked out the window and saw that the plane was indeed losing altitude. We were falling. A sudden jolt threw me out of my seat, and I found myself on the floor, my head spinning from the impact. I heard cries and moans around me, but it all sounded like a distant echo, as if the world around me was falling apart. When I opened my eyes, I found myself in a different place. The dark room surrounded me, and I lay on the cold stone floor. In the distance, I saw light, like fire in the darkness, and I knew I had to reach it. Madison was next to me, her eyes open but unmoving. I got up and approached her, trying to wake her up, but she remained still, as if she had died in this world. I looked at the light in the distance and realized it was my only hope. I took her hand and began to move forward into the darkness towards the light that I hoped would lead me home, or at least away from this nightmare that happened on that cursed plane over the ocean. And as soon as I stepped into the light, I woke up and Madison lay beside me, sleeping peacefully. It was all a nightmare. I sat up in bed, my heart pounding in my chest. The memory of the plane, the strange visions, it all felt so real. I reached out and touched Madison's shoulder, relieved to feel her warmth.
It was just a dream.